Hello world, my name is Ihor, and today I would like to make a little exploration session of the compressed distortion. And I couldn't figure out a better naming. But anyways, so the guys from Cosmotronic, they sent me these two modules to check them out. So the Peradam, which is an analog distortion, and the Messor, which is an analog stereo compressor or transient shaper. And thank you, Matthijs, for sending them to me. I'm quite excited about both of them. And today's idea has two steps, basically. First of all, I would like to create a kick drum from Basimilus Iteritas Alter, then saturate it with a Peradam, and then compress it with Messor and sample it into the Digitakt, and use this kick drum as a foundation for our Techno jam. I also have some other percussive sounds prepared here, and the hi-hats from 909 kit. So Digitakt is ready. And the second step would be to repatch the kick drum into the bassline, use mimetic, use quadrax perhaps, and also overdrive them, and then compress these sounds and play a little bit together with the Digitakt. So basically the modular sends the audio into the Digitakt, receives MIDI from the Digitakt and the clock as well, and then the audio from the Digitakt goes into Ableton and gets recorded. So yeah, that's the idea. Join me, let's do it. And as usually, first things first, we have to patch our basics and start patching Basimilus out into Polaris. It's going to be our low pass filter today. Then Polaris into the Peradam, and then from the distortion into the Messor, which is a compressor. So this compressor is a stereo one, but patching the left input is enough because it's going to be normalized into the right one as well. And we don't have any stereo effects in our chain, so I'm not going to be using this one as a stereo either. So, and next thing would be to patch the triggers. I'm going to grab output A and directly into the mult, and from the mult trigger the Basimilus. And right now, if I start the clock, we have our sequence running. And basically here, if I go into the mixer, external mixer, I can get some gain here, and let's put a couple of tricks. Okay, right now both of these modules are in bypass. Let's shape the kick drum a little bit first. So the one thing I found out about Basimilus kick drum, so you have to be in liquid mode, and then the spread without introducing any harmonics is gonna slightly change the transient of the kick drum. Listen to that. This click and punch, they change a little bit. You must probably need headphones or proper speakers to be able to hear that. But anyways, so I'm gonna keep the decay kind of long one. So when I think about creating kick drum samples for a sample pack or for myself or for somebody else, I would go for a long sample. Basically, even though I always use like short kick drums in all my tracks, but for a sample, I would create a longer one because I don't necessarily know how this sample is going to be used in the future. Maybe I would like to use it as a bassline. Then having a short sample doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to keep the decay longer. And let me also introduce the filter envelope here. So I'm going to trigger the quadrax from the same trigger that we have here. And output is going to go into FM1 of this filter, so that we have better control. Yeah. No, I'm not going to introduce any resonance so far. Maybe overdrive it here in Polaris a little bit. Not with multi-distortion, but just with the drive of the input. Yeah, like that. And then we can go into the distortion. Right now it's bypassed, so basically blend is in the bottom position and mix is 0, like completely dry. But here I can introduce 6 dB gain. And we are clipping somewhere, I guess. Yeah, like this. And then I can introduce blend somewhere into the middle, but it doesn't change much as of now. let's introduce the distortion, the drive. That sounds really good, but too much because it kills the low end. So I can blend it back a little bit to the dry signal. Yep. And then this distortion has also like multi-band sound processing. So I can distort the lows more or highs more, high frequencies. Let's distort highs a little bit more. I need that transients to be there. And a little bit low end. What if we introduce a bit more envelope? Yeah, that's good. And now compressor comes into play. With compressor, what I would like to achieve is I would like to use a long attack so that the first part of the kick drum or the transient and sort of punches through and becomes the louder part of the kick drum. And then I would like to compress the rest of the sound, like the tail, and create sausage out of it, basically. So I'm gonna engage the compressor now, and let's listen to how it sounds right now. So pretty much the same, of course, because we don't have any settings yet. So first of all, I'm gonna introduce some ratio to about 4:1. And then attack must be quite long, like 50 or maybe even more, depends. We're gonna listen to that. And release also should be quite long. And now if I go with threshold, not too much, just a little bit, it starts compressing. And the high pass filter over here is at 100, so that the sidechain filter, basically what it does, it prevents all the low end to go in to engage the threshold, and it gives better control of compressing the transients together with low end, because low end is way much more powerful in that case, and we don't want to drive compressor crazy. So cutting some low end on the sidechain filter with high pass is quite useful. Now I hear that the punch is quite present and it's loud. We can try also to overdrive it with the saturation here inside of this compressor. And I can introduce more gain, basically makeup gain. Yeah. Yeah. And now what if I change the phase of the distortion? This. Some noise on the Basimilus. Listen to this transient. Amazing. Let's sample it. So I'm gonna leave only one trig over here, maybe make it a little longer. Yeah, like that. And I would like to sample it right now. So funk and direct. Yep. Perfect. So I'm gonna remove this trig. Look at the sample. So it has this kind of transient at the beginning of the sample, which is louder than the tail. So basically this one. I'm gonna trim it. And that's gonna be our kick drum. So I'm gonna save it and assign to track number 1. And right now, if we unmute it, 138 BPM. Yeah, it's a little bit too crazy, so we can work on the amp envelope. And maybe a little bit on the filter as well. Okay, that will work, I think. Yeah, like this. Maybe a little bit more envelope amount. Yeah, this is the kick I was looking for. Maybe just a little bit more overdrive. You cannot have too much overdrive on the techno kick, right? Okay, that will work. What if we put some hi-hat? Okay, that works. Okay, perfect. Nice, let's save the pattern, and right now I would like to go into the bassline. And first of all, I need to trigger the mimetic from that same trig, only over the x-axis, and I'm gonna put triggers like that. And then from track number 1 or 2, I'm gonna modulate the pitch of Basimilus. And on Basimilus, let's go into some kind of bassline territory. It sounds already good. But let's remove distortion, just to have like a dry signal, and compressor as well. Okay, that works. We can also introduce some other modulation. This is the classic me. So grab one of the outputs of mimetic and patch it into morph. Nice. Oh, this one. Boom. Yo, this is tight. And then into fold. Okay, we have fourth output from the mimetic. Shall it go into decay? The fourth output, shred. Okay. And now let's introduce some distortion. Gonna introduce a lot of drive and then blend it a little bit. Change the phase again. Find the sweet spot. Multi-band. Feedback is crazy. So feedback feeds the signal back into distortion, from distortion into distortion, and then out again. You can go into some crazy territories with it. Yep. Now we can engage the compressor. I'm gonna use just slide settings over here to have it a little bit more kind of even. Now if I go into this one, which is the external mixer, we can introduce some reverb and delay. Too loud. Let's fix it with the gain over here. Maybe this kick drum must be a little bit louder. And then in the compressor, let's use compressor as well. No make-up gain, fully compressed. Yeah, like this. A bit of gain back. Nice. Let's go into delay, make it super high, like that, and then we can drive more into delay actually from here. That's too loud. Maybe we can make it quieter on the mixer over here on the Digitakt and drive it a little bit more on the compressor with gain. Let me remove the decay modulation. Yo. we can utilize this envelope. So basically, this compressor has an envelope follower, and what if we go into the FM2 over here with this envelope follower? What if we put this one into the harmonics? sorry about the gain stuff. it wasn't always like the mixed properly. I think now is time for feedback. This clap isn't good. But 909 hi-hat. I bet you're dancing there. think that's pretty much it for today's video, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. And I hope you've learned something new for yourself or get inspired to go and create music. I don't even know what's going on. Was I doing like exploration session? I think I got carried away a little bit. Thank you, Matthias from Cosmotronic, for sending me these two modules. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna continue exploring them a little bit more deeper. And I really love both of them. And if you would like to check another video where I make polymeters on the Metropolix, you can check this one, or if you would like to learn a little bit more about Digitakt's external mixer, you can check that one. And until the next time, have fun.